Thank you. Mr. Renacci.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. DeWine, you are representing 30 million pensioners in your case here. Can you tell me what your costs are approximately?
Well, this case, and I am, by the way, Congressman, the 4th Attorney General in Ohio to handle this case or to oversee this case. We were named as the lead plaintiff because we had more pensioners, we had more at stake. Our costs are on a contingent basis. So if we win, the lawyers who are representing us, who my predecessors retained, they will get a certain percentage based on a contract. But what is so aggravating is that each day that goes on, we have a pension system in Ohio and pension systems in other states that are out this money. And you know, Congressman, the problems we are having or the challenges we are having with the change in the market in the last few years, the down market with our pension system in the state of Ohio, and you know what that means, and we can only assume that most states who invested in Fannie Mae have a similar problem. So this is not like the days when everything was going up and you could have a loss like this and it would maybe not be good, but it wouldn't be as devastating. This is very tough for Ohio. It's tough for our pension system and the people who rely on it, the teachers, the firemen, other public employees.
Sure. What I was trying to get to was your actual costs in comparison to the number of people you're representing.
Well, I think a good way to look at it is when we show up with 2 and they show up with 15. I think that's a pretty good indication. We try to do things in a reasonable way, and you do what you have to do in litigation. This is important litigation. No one thinks you should not have lawyers. No one thinks you shouldn't have 2, whatever it takes. But there comes a point, anybody who's tried civil litigation, as no members of this committee have, that you just reach the point of absurdity, and we've reached that point today.
Sure. Again, I would assume that your costs per person are a lot less than the
Well,
cost.
it's going to be a lot less, much, much, much less.
Yes.
It's going to be a fraction of what their cost is.
Right.
It simply has to be just based on numbers. And that's not even getting into the question of how much they're paid per hour. It's just a number of how many there are. The same way with the expert witnesses. We bled so much. Taxpayers have bled. What this hearing, it seems to me, at least what my testimony, Mr. Chairman, at least in part is about, is stop the bleeding. We're headed into an era or a period of time where we're going to have a lot more bleeding with 25 expert witnesses that Judge Leon has already said he's not going to let 25 in, but he's not going to stop people from taking depositions and not stop them from putting forward these people as potential witnesses. And each one is getting paid, according to documents filed with the court, $600 to $1,500 an hour. So the lawyers are getting a lot, but these experts are getting a lot more.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, gentlemen.